Let me tell you my story.
My skin is always like this. Let's talk about sex.
And put an end to fossil fuel exploitation
To prevent environmental catastrophe.
Ever since I can remember, I've wanted to be able to fly. My earliest and most vivid memories are dreams of flying. I would perch myself on the edge of a park bench, stand on my tippy toes, and try to imitate the birds flying way up overhead. I would lean forward, stretch out my arms as if to take flight, brace myself for the life-changing sensation that lay ahead, and yet I never made the leap. But then one day I did fly, not as a bird, but as an aerialist. When I first stumbled across aerial circus, I had no idea how much influence it would have on me, on how I developed and grew as a person. I was this awkward, shy, 12-year-old girl, always hiding and afraid to be heard or seen. But when I climbed into the air, on the silks or the trapeze, I felt as if I had discovered a new place where I could explore and express myself, a place full of potential. Since I first made that discovery, whenever I've had something I need to work through or express, I take it into the air, and I realized the leap I never dared to take in my dreams was there for me to take in real life. In this leap, I found something that transformed me, something that connected every part of me, and I believe that that's something that we all need to find. Initially, I was driven by this urge to fly, but I discovered that I could also use it to express myself. In the air, I'm free of the limitations of everyday movement. I can celebrate my victory over gravity, and the possibilities of expression in that space are limitless. But that's not to say that it didn't come without challenges. Anyone who has ever seen an aerial act will probably tell you that it looks graceful, even effortless. But masked behind those beautiful movements lies an unseen world of painstakingly hard work. How we appear, floating, free, and graceful, is not necessarily how we feel, heavy, tired, and sore. Believe me, the first time I tried to climb the silks, it was far from easy or graceful. I couldn't figure out how to wrap the fabric around my foot, let alone hold myself up. And that's even with help. How was I ever supposed to get myself off the ground and have fun doing it? Gravity had never felt so unforgiving. So why did I keep doing it? Because somehow I knew that I'd made this incredible discovery where I'd found a way of exercising my body, clearing my mind, and expressing myself all at once. And like any other sport, whether it be surfing, dancing, or soccer, it feels great to develop strength and skill. It's engaging, it's rewarding, and it's fun. And now, when I practice aerial arts, I feel like I found my bliss. I'm in the zone, my happy place. And I imagine this is exactly how it must feel for the surfer in the sea, the dancer in the studio, or the athlete on the field, because that's where they find theirs. As I experienced all this, I kept thinking to myself, why isn't everyone doing this? Or at least, why isn't everyone doing something that is to them what aerial circus is for me? Doesn't everyone want to feel like they're flying? So over the past couple of months, I led a series of aerial workshops to provide an opportunity for people in my community to experience the same benefits I did. I interviewed students at the beginning of the first workshop and at the end of the last one to gain some insight into their process and experience. Although there were plenty of complaints of sore muscles, which if you ask me is only a good sign, there was a strong sense of challenging limits and achieving new goals. One of the students, just as I thought, related the feeling she got when she practiced aerials to how she feels when she surfs. She says that she is in a space where she is free to express herself, actively be in her body, and just get everything else off of her mind. What I now know is that the benefits of having something like aerial circus in my life are endless. Something that really stuck in my head is what one of my mentors offhandedly said to me. Show me a school with a good sporting program, and I'll show you a good school. So that got me thinking, what does that really mean? I'd always been told about the benefits of being active, but I never believed it or even really understood what it meant until I experienced it for myself. When I first started training, I felt muscles I didn't even know existed. So despite that as an aerialist, I fly, glide, and soar, I'm always exquisitely aware of every part of my body, all of my weight and muscular tension. This feeling of knowing and using every part of my body to work together created a strong sense of connection. My body has become my best friend, my reliable partner. I learned that I could do things far beyond the limits I had set for myself. I have become strong, flexible, and more confident in my body. It also had an impact on my mental health. How many times have you been told, go exercise, not for your physical health, but for your sanity. Go run it off, go sweat it out. And I found out that it's true. Exercising really does have an impact on my mental state. Each time I climb onto the silks, all of my worries immediately fall away. My head feels clear. Despite the frustration of learning something new, I experience a shift to a more positive attitude, which I believe is the result of me doing something I love that connects my body with my mind. By practicing aerials, I've built self-trust through reliance on my own abilities and gained a sense of achievement as I developed my strengths and skills. And like any exercise, aerials gives me an overall sense of well-being caused by increased production and release of dopamine in the brain. This means I have more energy, sleep better, and generally feel more relaxed and positive. Aerials has also helped me to develop my identity. The great thing about aerials, like many other sports, is that it allows people to explore their identity, individuality, and develop their creativity. Expressing yourself through any kind of physical exercise or art form doesn't require words or even other people. So someone who is more shy might be more comfortable expressing themselves physically, as was the case for myself. Or someone who is hyperactive might find their calm in, say, the surf or on the trapeze. Aerials helped me gain courage. Exhilarating activities almost always have an element of danger, whether it be climbing 6 meters into the air on the silks or catching a 10-foot wave. Finding a place where people can physically challenge themselves allows them to develop a sense of adventure, to become risk takers. It is also activities like this that force you to use 100% of your attention in that moment, to be in the zone, just to ensure your own safety. I clearly remember this one afternoon, I was training by myself in my garage. I'd seen this cool new trick the day before, and I thought I'd try to recreate it. So I climbed to the very top of the silks, wrapped myself in what I thought was the exact right way, and dropped. The silk was supposed to hook on my leg and catch me before I reached the floor. But I'd forgotten the most important part, to hold the tail of the silks by my side. So I kept falling until I hit the floor. I wasn't very badly hurt, but I was so shocked. At that moment, I realized that I am fragile and vulnerable, no matter how much I didn't want to be. And then there's teamwork, something aerials really helped me to appreciate. I am someone who tends to think that I can do everything on my own. But more and more, I come to realize that this is rarely true. Achieving goals and pushing through boundaries often requires working together. Aerial circus pushed me to place trust in others and make strong connections, something I didn't even know I needed until it was right in front of me. In the workshops I held, I saw that some students asked for help as soon as they were struggling, while others, who were more like I was, stubbornly kept trying by themselves. This often meant that it took longer for them to succeed in what they were trying to do, if they succeeded at all. Learning how to interact with other people, how to give and receive support, and to be aware of other people's space are all unexpected but vital things that I've learned. When I first started training, me and my family were living in a small coastal town in Southwest Australia. But through practicing aerial circus, straight away my family was expanded. I gained valuable friendships and made connections I never would have made otherwise. And I learned that doing something with other people is much more fun than doing it alone. Something I've gained that is just as valuable is the knowledge that achieving goals takes a lot of hard work. I've learned that it takes practice, and more practice until we finally get the gratification of achieving what I set out to do. But I learned that with perseverance and hard work, you can get there. I get sweaty and bruised and fall much more often than I'd like to admit. And for a long time, I simply believed that some people are naturally good at things while others just aren't. Practicing aerials cracked this belief for me, and I now know that anyone who is really, really good at what they do will have put in an incredible amount of hard work to get where they are now. The key is that when you love it, it doesn't feel like hard work. There are unlimited benefits to discovering the thing that you're passionate about, the thing that is for you what aerial circus is for me. It has the power to transform you. Being able to explore and remove boundaries in aerial circus inspired me to do the same in other areas of my life. I'm no longer that shy 12-year-old girl, always afraid of being heard and seen. I'm still me, but every day growing closer to my full potential. So my message to you today is to go out and find the thing that you're passionate about, your own space for expression. No matter your age, gender, or culture, I believe you can find something that is to you what aerial circus is for me. Some call it finding your bliss. My mom and dad call it discovering your passion, being in the zone. I just know I found my thing. So think back to a dream you've had or still have, and let it inspire you and guide you towards finding the thing that makes you feel excited, free, invincible. Because you may find your thing. So now I'm going to do a little demonstration to show you what it is that I've been talking to you about. And if I fall, that's okay. Probably won't fall. But it's okay because I'm still learning, and most importantly, I'm having fun.
Very deep within the most primal parts of ourselves lies an incessant urge to be free of gravity's unyielding grasp, to be released of earthbound limitations. We are chased by the tenacious fingers of an unsatisfied need to return to a state of weightlessness, to float as we once did in our mother's womb. My guilty pleasure was to live outside boundaries, but that isn't to say that I wasn't scared, that I wasn't a prisoner of human confines. My personal prison was made of bars that I alone had created. We, conditioned to limit ourselves, we, too afraid to relinquish control, we, blissfully unaware that we can bring ourselves to heights higher than you ever imagined, are oblivious to the creation of our own concentrated confines. I was scared to fly, because fear of falling filled my ears. But now, when I think of flying, all I can hear is silence. There is nothing to listen to save the exhales of every part of my body, the creeping smile in the corners of my lips, finally relinquished from a pressure they never expected to be free of. When I think of flying, it's so easy to silence the voice that doesn't know how to love, shut the eyes that refuse to see all the untapped potential, raise the voice that knows how to love, open your eyes to explore the pathways of all the hidden possibilities. That way, there will be no limits. We can get lost in our dreams, in expressions of ourselves we could never have fathomed. I may fail and fall often, but falling doesn't always mean destruction. Crisis does not entail collapse. Learn to catch yourself, learn to breathe, learn to fall. Fall through your fears, because I know you can fly.